Hi, I'm Thomas, Believe in the Run, and this is New Balance's 1080 V9. So the 1080 V9 is your daily trainer with tons of cush from New Balance. So it's going to be one of the most cushioned New Balance shoes you can get out there. Really, for the size of it, doesn't weigh too much considering how much cushion you get. Weighs 308 grams or 10.95 ounces, which surprisingly is almost an ounce lighter than the 1080 V8 right before this shoe. The 1080 V8 was a lot clunkier than this one. They really streamlined the whole shoe, including the upper, giving it a sock-like feel, getting rid of a lot of those chunky overlays that were in the 1080 V8, and just really making this look smoother, more, I don't know, modern. So getting into it, we have a nice sock-like upper feel up here that if you come inside, no, don't do that. So the upper's nice, fits well, locks in over the arch. It's got a new style of a heel counter, and I'm going to get into this because it wasn't my favorite. I got a little bit of heel lift in the shoe, and I'm not sure if it's because of this new heel collar or because I feel like the shoe runs a little bit large. About a half size large in my opinion, which causes a little bit of that heel lift, makes the shoe a little too roomy, and just didn't fit my foot just right. I do think maybe if I went down a half size, I would have loved the shoe a lot more. Anyway, they made it as cushiony as possible, put an ortholite insole inside. They thinned out the tongue and made it a little softer than the previous version, even coming down to the midsole foam. Can't put my finger on it, but I think this fresh foam has more air injected into it. I don't know how they did it. Maybe it's the mix, maybe it's the formula, but it feels a little softer, a little more airy, and it gives you a little lighter feel under your foot. The rubber on the bottom looks similar to the V8, but it has a different configuration and is less rubber overall. I feel like it goes smoother through your stride, and they did a nice job of cutting out some strips here to make the shoe a little more flexible and go through your toe off a little smoother. If you're a heel crasher, you got a little more durable rubber on this heel. Coming through, the shoe's gonna be durable, it's gonna last a long time. This is your slow plotter. Maybe you can pick up the pace in it. For me, it's not really that type of shoe. This is more of a easy miles, longer miles, just kind of comfort shoe. Along with that more modern-like upper, even the laces have a little bit of a stretch to them, so they kind of give you a little bit of a new way to adjust the shoe. It kind of has an elasticity to the laces where you can get a better fit over the arch. So that's about it with the 1080 V9. You've got an 8mm drop, weighing in at 308 grams or 10.95 ounces for a daily trainer, and it's a big improvement over the previous model. On this side we have the 1080 V8, and on this side the 1080 V9. You can see they narrowed out this section, which Megan has wide feet and it didn't seem to bother her, and they flared the foam out a little bit to the side to create some stability off toe off. You can see how much wider and chunkier and squared off the 1080 V8 looks. Not a ton of overlays, not a lot of stuff getting in the way of a smooth, streamlined feel versus the 1080, which has lots of chunky overlays, more padded, stiffer tongue versus the 1080 V9 with a smoother tongue. Laces a little more stretchy in this one, give you a custom fit. Heel counters, much more refined looking on the 1080 V9. In the bottom. See here how much chunkier this rubber looks versus this rubber, and you can see where the grooves were cut here and how they're cut on this shoe. You even have some heel cut through the rubber on the 1080 V8 that you have lost in the 1080 V9, but overall this runs a lot smoother through the transition. Subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and check us out on Instagram where we post pictures of the shoes as they come in, and we're getting ready to review and put some miles on.